Hello again, everybody. It is, I believe, day 12 or 13 is close to the full time that we've had our official national, if you're in the United States, days of self quarantine and just playing Don't Touch Me across the nation. Depending on where you are, the day shift may be different. Depending on what your situation is, you may be resetting your self quarantine time together. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne, and I want to thank you for the time we had to spend together in this time of crisis, because it is a time of crisis. And thank you so everybody who have stumbled upon my videos through Facebook, through YouTube, and through sharing. A couple people have shared it with some of the folks. I appreciate that. What's going on? Glad to give some, I don't want to say wisdom, but some words of comfort and maybe some tips to get through some of the stuff I have going on. And today is a pretty big day in the words of comfort and tips, if you will, because today is the day that I need to remind you that now is the time to get something done. Now, it may seem like right now is the time to do absolutely nothing because a lot of things not going on, and all your plans and all your goals and all the things you're working towards are at a standstill because they require you to go someplace you can't go and do some things around people you can't be around right now. But that is not the case. There are amazing opportunities, amazing things that you can get done right now, even if it is not quite as large scale or amazing as you think it should be. But there are straight amazing things going on right now. Prime example is me. I've done more of these videos here live and some other ones recorded and do more things, not because I have any extra time, because trust me, I have no extra time. What I do have is the desire to do this, the need for me actually doing this, and a actual want for people seeing it to get stuff. One of the barriers, or two of the barriers, I'll say, that I've had to do in video is that going all the way back to the 8th grade, I have had trouble looking into that little thing camera right there. So I have trouble being with my camera sense, which can be overcome in some cases. And I also, dealing with what's really in my head, I have the assumption that nobody really cares what I'm saying. Nobody's listening to what's going on. And that unfortunately gets proven truer than not in too many cases. Uh, Also fortunate for me is what gets proven truer than not in so many cases is that I'm right a lot of times. So that doesn't stop me from talking. I just seem like I'm talking to the people who aren't paying attention in this time right now. And bear with me, there's some Facebook messages going on my other computer over here. In this time right now, there's a need for me to get off the stick and do more of this stuff, so I'm doing it. I'm using times and locations that aren't quite normal. It's spring break here at the school I work for, so while I'm here on campus getting some stuff done, doing things here there are larger blocks of time at the moment where I don't have things to run to. In normal times, I'm like a firefighter taking on calls all the time. Now I take care of something for a block of time, and I have large swaths of time where I'm basically doing catch up and paperwork. So I'm using that time to do this. I'm doing it from my office at work on my laptop computer with the laptop mic and laptop camera. I don't have my nicer cameras. I don't have all my lights. I don't have the nice microphone like some people are doing out in the world, and they're getting a chance to do that. But that's beside the point. And a lot of people are pulling out the nice microphones that they paid a lot of good money for that they have not had time to use. But now that they're at home, they're setting them up. They're doing the bigger, badder, awesomer presentations. And that's there. And a lot of people out there are producing, these are big time producers, more intimate content, more live content, more direct to view content, and more experimental type stuff that they have time to work on, because there's a big glut of people out there who are looking for things to watch, so much so that it's really hard for YouTube and Facebook and the places where people are seeing these to actually monitor the things to see out there. I've had some videos out there that were put out earlier in the week that took a couple days to actually become something that was shareable, because everything gets reviewed now, especially anything that may bring up COVID-19, because they don't want to get all that bad information out there. So what this is less about me and me finding time and just getting over myself, more about you and you finding time and getting over yourself in what you have going on. it doesn't really matter how big the goal is and how much people power you need to get done. If you're finding yourself sitting at home or in an office or in someone's bedroom or someplace else where you've got a lot less going on, you don't have your normal capacity of work going through, you got to do something with your free time. Even if it's something like I've always wanted to catch up on some books and do some reading. I go through various different stages when in my personal development stuff where I go through the readers or leaders things and try to show people how to catch up on reading with that. One thing I do for reading is I use an app called Blinkist. I actually have an affiliate link for it, which I won't deal with right now. I may put in the comments later on. But you go to Blinkist.com and go on the link there, and it is a free app, and they also have a premium version of it where they give you all of the popular nonfiction books out there as fast as they can get them in there. They'll put them in there, and you can read a full book or listen to a book being read to you in 20 minutes or less. So if you've always wanted, like example, I did a big catch up for big dump on Seth Godin a few weeks ago, where I went through a bunch of Seth Godin books while I was at work doing a project and had that in the background. Went through 5 different books in about an hour 10 minutes. And that's obviously something you can't do if you have to read them or listen to them full speed. If it's something small like that, now is the time to catch up on reading. You can have time to go get an actual book, or there are ways to catch up on other books. Get Audible for audio listening, things like that. That works as well. You can also just work on that big, audacious, super crazy goal dream that you have. Yes, you may want to be a party DJ, and right now parties aren't happening, but there are plenty of people who are DJing online, doing their music, throwing it out there, giving samples, giving cuts, giving people to see what's going on. Musicians giving online concerts like crazy, from the famous ones who you would pay big money to go see to the kid who's just now figuring out how to get those chords on his guitar. And he's brave enough to throw it on YouTube so his friends can see it because he can't go in front of other friends. There are so many things out there that I know each and every one of you out there coming back and forth on this video want to do that you've been afraid to do for whatever reason. And those fears are warranted. Those fears are there. I still have a fear that what I'm saying right now sounds like gibberish, so nobody really is listening to it. However, that's an excuse I can't live with. That's the excuse I have to deal with. That's a consequence of not doing it. Saying I don't have a camera. I have a camera. I have a microphone in the computer. I have a little time right now. This is just a quick, maybe 10 to 20 minute thing. I got 10 to 20 minutes before I have to go do something else. So there's no excuse. And maybe somebody will catch this and give me the right feedback to do better next time. Or maybe just the fact that I am doing this is practice for next time. And maybe this will give me the exposure for a lot of the other projects that I've been wanting exposure for, the things I complain about that I don't have enough followers, enough listeners, enough viewers for things. Maybe somebody will patch on to this one and go forward. Right now, the time where a lot of people are sitting at home, scrolling through their phones and internet, looking for something to watch, is the time to throw something out there for someone to watch. And it doesn't have to be great, because maybe you don't have great right now, but you've got good enough to throw it out there. Or that's me talking to me, but talking towards you right now is the time. If you've been too busy, too tired, too held back to come up with a plan for something, come up with a plan. You're sitting at home, you're not working. Maybe you truly are not working and you're worried about money coming in. That's a serious thing. I got laid off basically around this time last year. So I totally understand that, and was without a job for 7 full months. That was not nice. That was not fun. That was not easy. But between times when I was doing my work for trying to find a job, doing applications, doing networking, talking with things, I was also writing proposals for speaking gigs and writing proposals for voiceover gigs and recording even more podcasts because I had the time even if it didn't have the fancy studio I used to have to record them in, and learning how to do more of that stuff, and learning how to do more video stuff, and learning how to do more things, which got put on the shelf when I started working again. But now that things are a little slow, those things are back up. So I'm trying to keep this from being a ramble about me, so apologies for that. But this really is a message where I'm telling you, now is the time. There's something that you've had on the shelf. My shelves are actually over here, so that doesn't work so well. So you had on the shelf that you started, that you put away, that you didn't think you'd have the capacity to take it on. You didn't think you had the talent to do it. It doesn't really matter. There's plenty of people who have lacking of talent who are getting paid to do that thing that they don't have the talent for, because someone else found it worthy enough to give them a hand and get a little extra assistance on them, or have them do well. And it's not necessarily about being the be all end all greatest of them all. A lot of it is just about starting it, learning how well you're good at it, and figuring out where your ceiling is. I am never going to be a Tony Robbins level speaker. That's just is not going to happen. There's no reason for me to not think it's possible, except for the fact that the market doesn't allow it. The timing doesn't allow it. My current situation with all the accoutrements that are in my life don't necessarily allow it. But that doesn't mean I can't be a speaker on stages at a certain level of success that I can claim, a certain level of financial success that I can claim, without worrying about other people. And granted, there are other people in the same boat that I am, same boat that I am in, try to get that grammatically correct, who are trying to figure out how they're going to make all their stuff work out, how they're make all their things go. And one of us may actually break out and be that grand success. We can't all be that grand success because there's plenty of room at the top, but everybody can't be number one. Everyone can't sit on the throne, but there can be plenty of people on the stage. So if you're worried about space on the stage, don't worry about it. Take a shot, go for it, get to work, and see how far you can go to the stage. See how far you can get to get there. Maybe you find out you're really, really good, and there's a reason for you to actually put more effort into it and do even better. That will determine whether you go forward in the, for lack of a better term, dull, boring, mundane part of life, which I'm very happy with my dull, boring, mundane parts of my life, and how much you're willing to sacrifice and give up for the other stuff, because there is sacrifices, there is risk, there's always a gamble, there is there's always a chance that something will fall apart. There's always a chance that something will fail. There's never 100% chance of anything. You can have a mild. Trust me, I know people who have been fairly healthy who have had very odd medical conditions that just stopped them instantly. So the main question is, what are you waiting for? Because now is the time. Because now you have some time. You may not be happy with the reason why you have the time. You may be a bit worried about what you're going to do with that time going forward, because it's too much time at some point in time. Trust me, when I got laid off after about a week of just kind of decompressing, I needed to be doing something. Work on yourself. Work on your dreams, work on your goals, and yes, keep working on things that must be done. People are working from home, which means they now have less time, like a commute, so they have more time to do a little extra stuff. If you're trying to figure out how to get that exercise time in, you don't have a 30-minute commute anymore. You now have an extra 30 minutes to deal with when you have to clock in on your computer. There's 15 minutes in there to get a workout, take a shower, sit in the computer. You are done. If you are furloughed for the moment, but you're pretty sure your job is coming back, take that time to rest up on whatever worries you've had, whatever cares have been in your way, and decompress with some of those things you get a chance to do. Go work in your shop and build what it is you build. Go do some writing, do some singing, pull out that guitar and actually do some practice instead of just fiddling around on it. I'm not going to guarantee you that there's going to be thousands of COVID-19 superstars coming out, just like I'm pretty sure with all the self-isolation, there won't be millions of COVID-19 babies in 9 months, although people are saying that may happen. But you can go a whole lot farther and maybe a whole lot faster now that you don't have all these hamperings going on. So Get to work. Right now is the time to figure out what you need to do. I don't know what it is, but there's something you can do in this very moment where you can pull out a sheet of paper and start a plan of what it is you're going to work towards, and then you go forward with what those things are. I don't know what they are. I know what mine are. I know I've been working mine for quite some time, and with the time I've had lately, I've been filling the gaps with things to make them work. This is not the most grandest video of them all. It's not well scripted. It's not well lit. It's not well sound wise, audioed, which isn't a word either. But you know what I did today? I made a video. The timer says I've gone 15 minutes. So I've talked for 15 minutes on something that people should be working towards, and that's their goals. My face, not quite for video, but I'm doing one. So what could you be doing to go farther in your goals, your dreams, your actions? You can talk about them in the comments on the Facebook and on the YouTube. You can talk about them going forward, backwards. Not backwards, but if you're listening to it on the replay, let me know that you heard this on the replay as opposed to live. Thank you for all the folks who came in live today. My mother-in-law, Sharon's popped in. Thank you very much. Also, Siva, Josie. I normally don't do shout outs to the comments, but why not? Thank you so much for being with us. I've got some meetings to get to. I've got things to deal with that are actually important to the job. But because I had this window of time, I did a little something for me. You let me know if it works. We'll catch you later, whenever that window of time comes available.